Can anybody hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Sorry, can you hear me? 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Can anybody hear me?
Good morning, Dato.
Oh, good morning, good morning.
How are you, Dato?
I'm good, thank you. Let me just off my WhatsApp first, otherwise you will hear a lot of ting ting tong tong.
No problem, Dato.
Yeah. Okay. So we are early, yeah, by 5 minutes. Oh, 3 minutes.
3 minutes early. It's
Okay.
okay. Exactly at 11, Dato.
Good morning, Dato.
Good morning. Good morning.
Are you wearing sarung or what?
I'm not wearing sarung. I'm wearing.
Alright, so thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Only two of us, huh?
Yes, only two of us will be on the screen right now.
Can you see my face, ah?
I can see you clearly, Dato.
Oh, okay. So because I can't see myself. Let's see, why I can't see myself? This is not the same as the other one, no? WinnerWeb. Yesterday I used WinnerWeb, so I off again. You can't see me now, right?
Yeah, I can see you now.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Okay, so 11 o'clock we'll start, huh? Okay. So this who are the students that will be watching this live?
We have actually broadcast this to all our students in UUM. Okay, and we made it public so it can be viewed by almost everyone who's on Facebook and WebEx.
Oh, okay. So our main objective today is to talk about the impact of COVID on them.
Not only on them, okay, but the challenges that we face due to COVID and how business would be after COVID ends.
Oh, long story, man. It cannot finish in even 2 hours. That one I have done it. Any life about it, and then is a lot of challenges and whatnot.
Yes. Now we'll try to keep it short and simple. Okay, within this 1 hour bracket. So
Okay. I also want to discuss a bit about because this morning I'm thinking about the student will be worried about their job availability after the COVID, So I need to talk to them about how to prepare themselves for the COVID as well. Yeah. So I see a few people inside here.
Okay. So I'll try to spend some time for you, Datuk, so that you can address the students.
Yeah, okay, right. How long have we gone in this Webex that you registered? How long? Any idea?
You can go for as long as until 12 o'clock.
Oh, okay, right. Okay.
I guess we shall start now.
Right.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to CUIC Virtually Connected series. I'm Charin, and I'll be moderating this session today. Okay, we will be going up close and personal with Professor Dato Dr. Michael Teo, the UUM CEO of faculty, and he is also the CEO and Managing Director of PKT Logistics Group Sdn Bhd. Good morning, Dato. Thank you very much for joining us here today.
Good morning, Prof.
Call me Charin.
Sharon, yeah, okay. Sorry.
Okay, so Dato, the reason why we are doing this session is that we try to bring the industry closer to us. Therefore, we can't see you in person, but we can do this virtually. Okay, so our
Right.
topic will be talking about business the unusual way, riding the waves of COVID-19. Okay, so let me just give a little bit introduction of what is currently happening. So most of us are aware, that there is a wildfire going on, spreading around the world, affecting more than 1.4 million people currently, affecting 209 countries. In Malaysia, currently, more than 4,200 have been affected, and almost 65 have actually succumbed to this disease. So it changed the way we work, changed the way we live, it changed probably how we run our businesses. So that business is unusual currently. We see here is that we need to run things differently. So in terms of your perspective, how does PKT, how does other businesses, what can they do to ensure that we are adapted to this situation currently, as well as to ensure that our service quality is maintained?
Okay, good morning, students, and good morning, lecturers, and good morning, all the publics that is watching today. I have gone through many talks, so I think some of my viewers are also well versed about what is in my mind already. But let me give you a brief of the whole scenario in terms of my company per se first. Okay, as far as PKT concerned, we have gone through many crises. We have gone through the ASEAN currency crisis in 1998, and we have gone through the world financial crisis. And then in 2008, we have gone through a mini Malaysia only crisis, which is the oil and currency crisis in 2014. And now we are in this COVID-19 crisis. So in every step of the way, we actually transform ourselves. That is why they say this is because of COVID, they have caused the digital transformation of many companies. So a lot of companies are not digitalized, they are digitalizing their business, where they only do the offline business. Now they have no choice, they have to do online business. But luckily, PKT have gone through several transformation before this thing happened. Meaning for 2008, we have a company transformation program. That is where we came out with three wawasan 60-40. 60% of our sales still remain in automotive, 40% in non-auto, primarily focused in fast-moving consumer goods, F&B, food and beverage, e-commerce, port logistics, education as well. So we have diversified our business since 2008 towards this direction, especially my e-commerce logistics business. So today, I think everybody is asking for e-commerce logistics services. So that is the robust of the market at the moment. You can go and see the courier company. They are all piled with mountains of parcels to be delivered. And then you can see the food Grab food, Panda food, Lala Move, or all the Ninja, and then Honestbee, all so busy. So these are the new business that is born from this COVID crisis. And a lot of my SME entrepreneurs friends are actually doing originally offline. For example, they are doing F&B, they have restaurants and whatnot. They are very comfortable with doing business offline, which is the restaurants, and never thought of doing deliveries. But because of COVID, they have no choice. They have to shut down their restaurants, which is in the mall. They can't even open, they don't even allow you to do takeaway from, or if you are in the mall, unless you are outside outlets and whatnot. So they have no choice. They have to go into online business. So with these challenges, they actually started online business, and I encouraged them and I told them you have to do your marketing well. You have to register with Grab Food. You have to register with Panda Food and all the other online food apps, F&B apps that you can make sure that you are marketable. So they all started all this process of as an owner entrepreneur. They started creating the poster, they creating an online menu, and then they post it into Grab, and then they share it in the Facebook, and then start asking friends to support. And then when the friend buy already, they also help them to advertise, take some nice picture and post in the Facebook, and then share it among the friends, and the friends will get it. And then they have all these things, including if you introduce my company, I will my food, you get 10% the next order. So all these are digital transformation as a result of COVID-19. For PKT concern, because 2008, we already thought of all this diversification plan, because 95% of our revenue was in automotive logistics. And then we only have very small percentage of F&B and FMC e-commerce business, primarily focused on fulfillment, e-fulfillment. We are not doing courier service. As you see, courier service, guys, we already have a big courier company in Malaysia, of course, with the MNC brand as well. You know, they have DHL, we have FedEx, UPS, American brand. And then you have the local brand, which of course, GDEX, Nationwide. What other brand you have got you're using over in the campus there?
We have JNT.
JNT, no. JNT is the last comer, right? JNT is from China, okay? So this Korea business, I already knew that the Chinese will be coming in because they will follow e-commerce. So when Alibaba come into Malaysia, they bring, they will come in, they took over Lazada, right? So now Alibaba owns the 80% of Lazada. Okay, now if you go to Lazada, you can virtually buy anything at all. Last time, as a student or as a normal people, you can still trade. You buy from Taobao, and then you can sell in Lazada, and you make some small margin there. But nowadays, you cannot anymore, because why? If you go to Lazada, you can buy from Taobao already. They pumping all the items from China into Lazada. So Lazada is basically, it is the whole world mall. The whole world mall. You can buy anything except the delivery. Instead of 2 days, now you need it to be like 10 days, because they are coming by air freight from China to arrive here and then distribute to you. So that is the way the market move. So when they came in all the way to Malaysia, they also bring in their courier service provider from China. So this is where JNT was created in Malaysia, and they dump in millions of money to penetrate into Malaysian market. So that is it's a challenge for Malaysian government to look into it and see that whether it is fair to our people or not. If somebody with such a big fund can damage our local industry. So government need to look into it to make sure that we are protected as well, especially our local courier company. Otherwise, we'll be dominated by the multinational brand, which are now doing this strategy, giving so cheap price that is not profitable to do. So as a logistician, I look into my diversification plan. I don't want to choose the segment that is going to compete with the big giant like China, where they will have that big amount of money to penetrate. So I focus on the cold supply chain, which is a food industry, which is doing distribution, especially our famous Family Mart. Family Mart kan. So they are coming, don't worry, they are coming to the northern region soon.
Okay, it's about time. It's about time.
They're coming already. They're coming. So they already evaluated our warehouse in Batu Kawan, and we already preparing a fleet of transport to do the delivery as well in the northern region. Of course, not all the way to Singtok so fast lah. It will take some time before they decided to go all the way to Singtok. But I will remind them to have one branch in UUM, because
please, Dato, that would be very thoughtful of you. All right, Dato. I mean, like, the digital transformation that you mentioned earlier, it hits us like a storm. Okay, everyone is riding on it. Okay, and I think so. with the coming in of China, all these big industries, coming into our digital market, that puts an extra toll into a logistics company like PKT. Okay, so looking into the bigger ecosystem of this logistics, okay, the supply chain involves the suppliers, the warehouses, the vendors, shipping lines, etc., etc., etc. How do we create more visibility of the whole ecosystem, and so that we can ensure that relevant information and immediate information, okay, can be delivered to ensure optimal efficiency?
Okay. Well, this is more of talking about how managing a process and information to our clients. Basically, is maybe not so related to COVID-19. So in terms of in the logistics industry, we have gone through a lot of transformation. Even the most important thing is our government sector, because we are not relying only on the private sector, which is like the shipping line is private sector, logisticians are private sector, custom broker are private sector, and transporter are private sector. But then whereas we also need to interact with the government side, where we will apply for permits to import through MITI, and then for custom clearance with the what do you call that, custom department under MOF side. So the custom department in the government side, they are also going through the digital transformation to to make it paperless. For years, we've been talking about it, and it's difficult for us to finally get into the full online transparency, because of the reason is, I don't know what is the reason also, but because of that, our logistics performance index in the world, we are not ranked so high. I think I can't remember, this year we are number 3.8 or something like that. Singapore is like 4.2 or 4.5. The higher it is, the higher rate. The reason is because of the question you are asking me here about the transparency, how easy to do custom clearance in Malaysia. So the longer the custom side taking to transform this, the lower will be our logistics performance index comparing to our neighboring country, Singapore. So I would urge, I think in terms of logistics company, the big, medium and large company already prepare for it. We are willing to invest into whatever software the government asks us to invest in order to do this clearance in a very transparent manner, paperless as well. But then for the lower custom brokers, which is like a small players, which is doing like two-man show, trying to earn the living and all these things. So that will be tough for them to invest into big software and whatnot. So government have to step in to make it free and make it available for everyone to use the software. But for our traceability and efficiency of our warehouse, all depends on the software you are buying. Of course, purchasing of the software that is good for the customer, not cheap, doesn't come cheap at all. They come in millions. So it's talking about economics of scale. Do you have that kind of customer or not? If you have, then you can afford to invest into a very, we call it enterprise resource planning under ERP system that interact with SAP system, with customer. Mostly the MNC are using SAP. We are going to use our local ERP. We cannot afford SAP, also SAP. So there is a lot of issue here talking about, okay, in that case, the SAP charges for integration costs, that will be like bomb, So there is a lot of challenges, but we hope our local IT producer are able to come up with software equivalent to international standards so that we can afford to pay for it. Yeah.
To conclude on this point, Dato, suffice to say is that, okay, this COVID actually hits us, okay, like a storm, okay, and what we need to do now is that all relevant agencies, okay, need to react to this. Okay, government should come up with digital transformation. Small companies should come up with, should embrace this technology, okay, and everybody should just start riding on this digital transformation so that they keep up with times. And I think so, with COVID now and then with this MCO going on, it's definitely going to be business unusual for everyone. Even as for myself, okay, I don't go to markets anymore. I rely on Lazada to send me my groceries. And I don't think so this is going to be, ending in April, ending in May. Probably this is going to change the way how I deal, how I actually live my life nowadays. Okay, so I'm going on to the next point, Dato. Okay, so you are managing a company, okay, a huge company with thousands of staff, and your staff are not located in one place, okay, but in many, many sites. Okay, so as a managing director, as a manager, as a leader, how do you uplift the moral of your staff? Okay, at the same time, um, you tell your staff that we need to work in this unusual time. Okay, and at the same time you keep up the moral.
Okay, so I did post it in my page what I did just before the MCO on the 17th of March. Because PKT is a Facebook compulsory company, basically I manage the whole company via Facebook. So all our staff will have two accounts if they don't want to use their original accounts in Facebook. They set up another Facebook account called PKTNs. So say for example, your name is Sanjit Kaur or whatever lah. So then you set up a PKT account called Sanjit PKTN, PKTIAN, PKTN. So meaning you are using this as an official company's account. So we add you into a group called PKT KS group where we all the staff are inside there, all of them inside there. So what I did is, of course, we have been communicating. We don't have notice board in the office, so all our notice is inside the KS group, so people will know. We are doing some very crazy creative things inside there. Let's say, for example, our canteen. Before you go to the canteen, you actually virtually know what food they are serving today at 12 p.m. onward, because once they finish their cooking, they display it, they will take pictures, they post into KS. This is today's lunch. So you will decide whether you want to go to canteen to have lunch or not already. So there's a lot of announcement. HR do a memo, they shoot it into the KS group. The memo is there already. So we've been keeping thousands of files into KS, is FOC provided by Facebook. So anyway, so just on the 17th of March, I went live on the KS group and I addressed everybody after I have a big meeting with all my management team. What are we going to do for this MCO? So of course, MCO means we work from home. So I declare that every one of us will be working from home, except those in the custom brokerage department and the warehousing department and transport department that is doing essential food that they need to come back to work. And these are the SOP we put in place. You must make sure you check your temperature, wear mask, everything, social distancing and whatnot. We created another terminology, we call it work distancing. So then on top of that, then I announced that for those who came back to work, of course, you need to find somebody to babysit your children, because suddenly the school are all closed as well. So then who is going to take care of children and whatnot? So we decided to give them hardship allowance. So this is a very unusual move, because if you were to if you think if every one of you is supposed to work from home, and I have to go to the warehouse and work and take care of all the F&B to make sure that family Mart has food to eat, to buy and whatnot. So and also Mary Brown, we are doing for Mary Brown, McDonald's as well. So you can imagine that if you go to McDonald's, they don't have bun, or they don't have beef burger or cheese. So you cannot be So we need to work as a essential food provider. So I told them, for those who came back to work, they will get hardship allowance. Okay, hardship allowance, and we pay them 50 ringgit extra and half a day, 50 ringgit. Once you finish your work, you can go back. You don't have to stay there to get 50 ringgit and get yourself exposed to COVID-19. So we try to minimize the risk, and then we encourage them to come in. So because I communicated direct with them, I explained to them the whole scenario. I received a round of applause basically after I announced that, from all the staff that was inside the office. And because the way they like I addressed the staff, that is motivation. So and also I have just before the government extended on the second phase, I went back live again. So when you go live, all the staff can read, and then they will comment and whatnot. So then I went live and I explained to them, okay, this is going to be a longer period, so we're going to do the extension. I say because of that, we are going to look into ways to cut costs. Those people with the petrol allowance, traveling allowance, and you are not using it now, especially during the 28 days, we can cut that cost and we use this to subsidize for those people who came back to work lah.
I see.
So that's to so I mean they are agreeable to that. You know, if you are telling them nicely, if you want to do cut costs, I also advise my staff, my mentees, my study tour members, try not to uh, terminate people, not to retrench people. This is temporary. The most case scenario maybe 2 to 3 months, but the government already came up with big packages. We call it the stimulus package, 250 billion. So I explained to them that the government have actually give you UPA. So for those people, students, of course, you are not interested to know what is UPA because you won't get it anyway. It's the employer that get it. But of course, government give a lot of allowance out there and whatnot. But UPA will help the OPA is, we call it in English, I think it's employment retention scheme. Retention scheme. You retain your employee. The government give you for 200 employee and above. That means large SME. They give you 600 ringgit per employee. So, but you can claim until a maximum of 200 employee lah. So, but for PKT, we have 600 employee below 4,000 ringgit. So they say below 4,000. So they expect those people below 4,000 will struggle, okay, if they don't have a job. So they ask all the employer to retain them. If you retain them, you will get 600 ringgit from the government to compensate, to subsidize you for retaining them. You must retain them for 6 months, but the subsidy is only for 3 months. Okay, so then there is another scale. Those below 200 employee and above 76 employee, you get 800 ringgit, and below 76, you get 1,200, which is quite good. So on top of that, the government also announced a moratorium of 6 months for all your financing. That means if the company have loan payment monthly on a car financing, building financing, loan financing, BA or whatnot, all this financing will delay for 6 months. You don't have to pay back. So that actually helps in your cash flow, because if you look at it, you are doing sales, then you receive income, then you need to pay money, your expenditure. What is the most expenditure is cost of goods, But if you don't have sales, there's no cost of goods, all right? Then you have salary to pay. That is fixed cost. So whatever is a fixed cost, they are trying to help you to manage your fixed cost, which is your salary, then your, what do you call that, financing that you need to pay off, and then they also give you opportunity to loan a special SME loan for 1 million for 3.5%. That is very good for the SME to loan 1 million and sustain through the 6-month period. So actually government already helps in terms of telling the MNC what to do. So I explained to the staff that don't worry, everything is in order. We have applied for everything. And luckily, 2017, we have actually invited Mitsui O.S.K. Line, Japanese company, to invest into our company. So they pump a lot of money, cash into our company. So we have the money to sustain through this rough period. So to me, most of the company already expect to make losses. I tell them, don't cry over a spilled milk. Okay, already going to make loss, because you cannot expect a global crisis and you still want to make profits. Don't make profits from government money. So don't expect the government to dummy you a lot of money so that you can make break even. Government is not there to break even. If you want to break even our whole national assets give to you also not enough, because people will under declare and start making a lot of manipulation on accounts to get the free money from the government. Government only can help you to sustain through this period. A company that is very weak, I am sure there will be a few that go collapse. But then those who really sound managed company will sustain through this period. So this is survival the fittest situation at the moment. So we are all very prepared, and now I have actually addressed the staff again. Let's get ourselves prepared for the next turnaround, because I explained to them during a crisis, a lot of our competitors actually shrink. That means they cut costs, they stop investing and whatnot. So we are preparing for the big jump again. So like the competition, leaders is in front, we are behind. So during crisis, they shrink. Then we push ourselves in front. So we are doing that move now. We tell them, hey, this is the best time. So we are motivated. Every one of them, I tell them from 15, when the government lift the MCO, okay, we should be rushing to do clearance and whatnot, because we have been we have maintained a very good standard of hygiene that we are able to sustain through our operation, even though our F&B operation is moving. We didn't close down at all, because why? We don't have a single case in our operation. So we are doing correctly, because we are one of the first to came out with the 3 corona masks. You must what do you call that? We must check for temperature, scan for temperature before you come to work. Then you must wear mask if you are coughing, and then you must sanitize your hand before you come into the building. So we came very early. So then we are able to sustain that. So a lot of competitors are facing a lot of challenges to get staff to come to work, because why? They didn't prepare for them. They don't have a free mask for them. They don't have sanitizer for them. Then they feel, if I come to work, then I'm putting my health in jeopardy. So they are refusing come to work. So they have an operation challenge. Then the staff are not well informed. The boss didn't tell them anything. So that is a problem. So then we are expecting to get more business, because we are well prepared. We are well prepared, and we take a lot of preventive measures. And even now, my staff already start doing all the signages. When you come in, you can queue. These are the dotted line. You should queue for lift.
Social distancing.
Lift, huh?
Social distancing.
Social distancing. We call it work distancing. So then the lift, we have only 4 corners. 4 corners of the lift. 4 person can go into lift at one time. So
very proactive of you.
Yeah, first to 4th floor, nobody can use lift. Then from 5th floor onward, you are able to use lift, but one lift only can put in 4 person, that's all. So we put in all these things, and then we also teach them how to touch the button of the lift. We no longer use finger, we're going to put sign everywhere, use your name tag.
Okay.
Everyone will use a name tag. But of course, cleaner will clean it all the time, but then we are now using our name tag to touch the lift buttons. If everyone using name tag, there's no contamination in the lift button also. So we do all this kind of creative way, how you queue to go to canteen to eat. We allow people to bring food to their own station to eat for now. So that in the canteen, there will be like social distancing also, where they cannot sit next to each other. We selang lah.
Okay.
So that is what we are doing at the moment lah.
Okay, Dato. You have done a very good job, very proactive job in terms of ensuring that the virus is not spread among the staff of PKT. Okay. As you are aware, okay, we are also going live on Facebook. Okay, and we are receiving queries, okay, from the public. So we have picked up a few. Okay, the first one is that, okay, earlier you mentioned about doing business the unusual way. So one viewer actually asked, okay, what about Asian single window for dagang net? Is it going to be paperless?
Yes. It's going to be paperless, because if you look at European Union, right? So ASEAN region is almost the same as European Union. So if before Brexit lah, I was studying in UK before Brexit. So if you imagine you are the truck drivers from the UK, you only do one custom clearance in the office, and then you bring the paper, then you scan all the way you go through. So it's paperless. By right, we should be doing that now. But then again, then we have issue on transport, because if Malaysian trucks go into Thailand, then it will be creating like if you let's say you have a half load from Malaysia, then you drive to Thailand highway, then you pick up another cargo. Thailand not happy, okay, and then go all the way to Bangkok and drop off all the cargo. So now they are arguing with each other. They cannot accept that fact and whatnot. And number two is their petrol, their diesel and our diesel is different grade. So in Thailand, they are already Euro 5. We are only Euro 3. So I worry that if our truck Euro 3 go to Euro 5 country and then pump in Euro 5, I don't know lah, which I think should be okay. But the other side, if Euro 5 engine come to Malaysia, pump Euro 3 petrol, maybe they will die halfway. So we are not sure about that issue. So they actually have approved 500 trucks to be able for first batch to do all this transit. And they need to set up the rules and regulation so that they don't compete in the local market. Don't Malaysia truck go to Thailand and compete with them because we arrived there already. We take another free load there before we come back, all these things. So there will be jeopardy for the Thai people. But by right, ASEAN regionalization should open up the competition for the whole ASEAN region. But every country still want to protect their own region. So the ASEAN Daganet, of course, it will be implemented, and we will be like paperless because we are not talking about for Malaysia. Singaporean will use it. Singaporean already used to paperless. Nothing, you don't communicate with the government people. I still remember we were trying to apply for a permit to do certain packaging, repackaging in Singapore. And then we only submit to internet aja, and the approval will come from internet. You don't see the officer. You cannot imagine today we have to do that. We have to go to meeting office. But then if we go to meeting office, nobody people is there. So we are late. We are behind. So COVID are pushing everybody to digitalize the way they do things.
Okay. To all our viewers out there, okay, feel free to post questions. Okay, we'll pick it up and then, of course, we'll channel it to Dato. Okay, those of you who are joining on Webex as well, feel free to type it into the chat panel. Okay, and of course, okay, Dato will try to address your questions. Okay. Well, we have another one coming in from Wei Xiang. Okay, so Wei Xiang actually said, "Hi, Dato. I have a few questions for Datuk. Okay, are you considering of listing PKT in Bursa Malaysia?"
Wei Shang, actually, I have considered it 2 times already. One time back in 2014 when we announced that PKT is going listing. We actually have a request from a synergistic investor to tell me that, hey, instead of going listing, why don't I take up the share from you? So then I say, hey, because they are synergistic investor, so I decided to sell them the shares, the whole lot to them. So I don't need to go listing in 2014. So again, we start preparing our listing in 2017, and another investment company came and see us. I heard you are going listing, but there is a synergistic investor are interested in your company. I say, oh, and they must be synergistic. That means if they invest in my company, they create value in our company, and our company can grow bigger. He say, yes, definitely. So then I also sold the share to them as well, and that's why we become bigger. So every time, if you build a very good company, very well structured, very good reputation in the market, I think you will get a very good investor to come in. So I built my investor portfolio in PKT now. So we have Mitsui OSK now. Mitsui OSK Line is a Japanese giant that owns about 35% of our company. There is some people from the port owns about 6-7%, and then Mazda Japan own about 2%, 1 point something 2% because they have diluted. So, but we are prepared ourselves very well. Every time when I talk about listing, investor will come in and say that we would like to take over the whole lot. No need for you to list. So that's why I'm happy, because why, when you are listing, you need to make a lot of reporting, and I cannot simply stay in the Facebook anymore. So there's a lot of restriction. So, but I'm not listed. I can talk lah. Later on, I will become like, who is the Elon Musk?
Okay, Elon Musk. Okay.
Let's say something and then he got fined, don't know how much. And he probably nearly go to jail also.
Okay. There are actually 4 questions from this viewer. Okay, the second question is that, okay, Dato, recently I saw an ad by PKT that they are supplying Peugeot vehicle spare parts.
Yep.
As far as I know, Peugeot are considered niche in Malaysian market, as Malaysians' perspective on French car reliability and after-sales services are bad. Hence, may I know why Dato decided on Peugeot instead of supplying cars like Japanese, whatever? Okay, maybe you like to address this first, Dato, before I share the other next question.
So basically, they are my customer. Peugeot Citroën are my customers. I have always told them that because when we went into e-commerce, we didn't want to go only for delivery, the courier delivery, right? So I told you we are doing fulfillment, and I always tell my staff we must move up the value chain. Okay, a lot of logistics company in Malaysia are still doing 3PL only. Whereas in Singapore, they are doing 4PL, 5PL, 6PL, even 7PL, 7-party logistics. So PKT is moving up the value chain. We are moving from 3PL to 4, 5, 6PL. So in terms of 4PL, 4-party logistics procurement, so we decided to actually start our own platform called Spark. Spark is an online platform for you to buy spare parts because PKT, we carry a lot of spare parts in our warehouses. Okay, so because we carry a lot of spare parts and all our client is still doing offline business where you can buy spare part only at the service center. All right. So offline business, we have decided to digitalize the spare part business by joint venture with a Chinese company called Baitulu. Baitulu is one of the giant for spare parts, online spare parts in China. And I know they are already very successful in doing their platform. So we do a joint venture with Baitulu. We rebrand the Baitulu to Spark in Malaysia. So we're in a process of doing all this integration and changing from Chinese word to Malaysian, Malay, Chinese, and English as well. So so that people can buy spare part online. So since I already have a platform for spare part for my customers and all those people who are selling spare part to go to online platform to sell spare parts, so digitalizing the spare part business. So I decided, why don't I invest into distributorship of spare parts? So when the opportunity came, I actually sell the idea to a customer. Most of the complaint for your brand is normally spare parts, availability and affordability. If you can see the tagline, our tagline is affordability and availability is our priority. So we decided to joint venture with them to become the main distributor for Peugeot spare part in Malaysia. So then we will take this Peugeot spare part and then distribute it offline and also online. So you can buy online in the future. Imagine that you are in one of the kampong area in Kuala Terengganu. If you have a Peugeot, if your car break down, you have to bring it to the city center, maybe nearest maybe Kuantan, to repair your car. So the guy from Kuantan basically had to buy the spare part from the if it's more than 5 years after warranty period, you go to a normal mechanic shop. You don't go back to the service center. So the guy had to buy the spare part from the spare part shop in Kuantan. And the people in Kuantan don't have the spare part in their stock one normally. They will call Kuala Lumpur spare part shops and whether they have these parts or not. And the Kuala Lumpur people will check whether they have this spare part. If they don't have, they will try to buy from Peugeot Citroën Malaysia, and then they will sell it to you, and then he will sell it to you. By the time he reached the back, you, the final owner, the price would have jacked up so much already. So you now can actually buy online or tell your mechanic, go and actually our business is B2B. Business, our customer is the mechanic shop. Our customer is not you. You can buy, but the problem is you need to find a mechanic shop that's going to repair for you. But then in that case, they cannot cari makan already. Only charge you repair cost saja. No markup on the parts cost. So the norm is actually they mark up on the part cost and they charge you both service cost, change, and also the part cost. So that is how the business is working. So now we make it available. So because it's going to be very widely available, I believe that will improve the branding of the Peugeot itself. So then our principal, which is the Peugeot Citroën, they can focus on selling cars, which is Nasim, they can focus on selling cars, and we focus on providing spare part and to make sure it's readily available, not only for the brand new cars that is under warranty, but also the cars that is above 5 years old, that is already no more warranty. People are looking and outside people to do repair, they can find the spare part at cheap price as well. That's why we went into this direction. And I think beside Peugeot Citroën, many people will come in and then appoint us as an e-stockist. So we created these new terminologies that is non-existent in the market. E-stockist, online stockist for car parts. So PKT are the future online stockists for all brand. It can be Proton, Purudua. Now we have Proton and Purudua REM customers that we are pushing and selling all the Proton Purudua REM. But the OEM parts also can come in, because next time if you go to our apps, you have a parts, because the app is more sophisticated. This is some apps that people like Lazada, Shopee will not do. You go to the apps, you key in your chassis number, the car will pop up, and you don't have to look for the parts. You just circle this part of the car, all the parts that inside that section will pop up, and then you choose the part, you click, then all the prices will come out. OEM, REM China 1, China 2, all sorts of pricing. Yeah.
All right. I think so. There's a very valid question here. Okay, coming from a very young student, or probably a single person. Okay, the question is, can we have more bento choices and bento discount after 7 p.m. in Family Mart? I think so. This is a very good question. Okay, sometimes when you get hungry at night,
I don't own Family Mart. I am the logistics distributor for Family Mart. I cannot talk on behalf of my client. I can actually tell them the message, but then again, you have to know. You see, I think we distribute food, fresh food only about that timing, about 7 p.m., 6 or 7. I'm not sure lah. But now we do have delivery after 12 now. We have 2 deliveries a day in Central. I think the guys is in Central. Otherwise, he cannot have a chance to eat bento because Family Mart only in Central at the moment. So we do two deliveries per day. I'm just thinking, he's talking about what timing. You see, the timing is, the delivery is say for example 3 to 4 p.m., which is off peak time. So actually, it's a fresh food that I just delivered to Family. So I don't think they can give you 50% discount. You go to Japan, you don't see 50% discount. Night time is the most busiest one, because Japanese finish work about 9 o'clock. They have no time to eat. They just drop by 7-Eleven, they pick up a bento set and they makan. So nighttime until 12 o'clock is the best seller at the moment. After 12 maybe.
Okay, there is one question from Dr. Muhammad Khairi Ahmad. Okay, Dr. Khairi actually asked, what will be the most crucial role of higher education institution for business unusual, okay, during these COVID times?
Okay, I think you need to identify from this COVID-19, what is the future job for your graduates. Higher institutions should look into it very strongly. I suggest you go and see the job street. You go and see the advertisement for job availability in the market now. You will see 3 keywords: e-commerce, logistics, warehousing. I just posted it only just before this. So the job of today and the future, because of this digital transformation on all business across the board, will be all this sector. Then big data, data analytic, computer science. They need people to prepare the website, the online platform. They need people to know how to do collection of data. So a lot of my friends are now finding challenging time to actually get the big data on the customer needs. They didn't do it last time because they never thought they had to get into these things. So big data, data analytic are very important, because now they want to sell the food back to the same customer that came to the shop before. They couldn't find them. But if they could have let them register when they came into the shop, now they had the big data, they can push the information to them. Hey, don't forget me, I am doing delivery, something like that. And you love this nasi lemak goreng, ayam goreng berempah. We are doing it at a discount of 15%. I can deliver it to door and then fresh and whatnot. Don't worry about the packaging is sealed, all these things. So you will have the big data. So the courses must be right now. You have to structure. You have to give a very clear directive to all the universities. If you are specialized in computer science, go for e-commerce related, big data, data analytics, cyber security, all these things. If you are in the logistics like UUM, we go for e-commerce, logistics, supply chain management, and we put in all these e-commerce related, online business related type of subject inside, and we're going to crossbreed between the people from computer science with logistics as well. So computer science will have an option to study logistics, is actually e-commerce subject. And then for the logistician, we also will have the option to study computer science subject. So why? Because when in the warehouse, we no longer employ only logistician. We also employ IT expert, cyber security people. We also employ industrial engineer. Okay. Industrial.
What I'm trying to say here is that universities should start looking into offering modular courses so that we can pick this subject, that subject, put it together, and then we graduate and go into the job market.
You need to talk to us. We will tell you what type of graduate we employ now, because a lot of universities are producing non-related subject that is no longer relevant in the industry already. So I tell you, people who study chemical engineering because they want to go into oil and gas industry today will suffer because there are so many chemical engineer graduate in the market now, with the oil price hitting rock bottom, nearly 30 US or 40 US now. So that will be big problem for them when they graduate. It's difficult to find. They are very challenging. So I would advise the university KPT to give more quota focusing on logistics. If you look into Wawasan Kemakmuran Rakyat Bersama 2030, you will find that inside there are 5 result areas that we are looking at, all related to logistics. ASEAN Hub lah, border logistics lah, supply chain lah, semua. A lot of logistics, F&B logistics, all are related. Port also related logistics. Malaysia is moving towards a direction to become the next ASEAN logistics hub. In order for us to take up this position as the ASEAN hub, we need to have graduate that is relevant to logistics industry. So I need to tell the government, don't look into this other numbers. Beside manufacturing, our next big thing will be logistics service industry. Okay, so produce the right people for e-commerce, for logistics industry. Sorry.
There is one question here from Nakiyuddin. Okay, he started off his question with a comment. Okay, he said, "Hi Dato, I once went to PKT and your spare part storage is very reliable, and he's impressed with your vision because you are always up to date with technology and you do take care of your workers." Okay, so his next question was, does PKT take internship for students now?
Of course, UUM get a very good priority. Just go through this university CIUC. CIC site. They actually send me the list every year, and we sapu all. But you send me individually, a bit susah because we have no time to entertain one by one. So go through the CUIC and their own faculty, especially STML site for the School of Technology, Management and Logistics. I am one of the adjunct professor for the STML, and also we got the honorary doctorate from UUM. So we give very high priority to UUM graduates for internship. Yes, we do that.
That's the answer that they are all looking forward to, Dato. Okay, one last question before your takeaway, Dato. In these times, these challenging times, of course, as a businessman, you do see that there is opportunity. Okay, so what are your plans to transform PKT into a higher technology, digitalization, on the same time maintaining your cost and stand competitive in the logistics market?
Okay, so at the moment, I think a lot of people know that we're also doing a global distribution center at the moment for Daiso. You heard of Daiso, right?
Yes.
So together with our customer, we cannot simply transform ourselves, digitizing ourselves without customers. And we are actually moving into more of robotic type of warehousing. we are actually going for full automation for the future warehouse, which is called the Glacier. In this challenging time, nobody is doing construction in the market. I will be constructing the Glacier because construction costs will be at the cheapest at the moment. So we are looking to start it immediately. Now we are discussing with a Japanese partner about the amount that we need to invest because the ringgit is cheap. So when they are transfer the money from Japan to here, I think the exchange rate is very cheap at the moment, so that they will enjoy the cheapest currency and at the same time enjoy the cheapest cost of constructing a warehouse at the moment, because nobody is constructing in the market at all. Everything stopped. So if we construct it during the recession or during a crisis, I think we are getting the cheapest price. So we should be doing that. That is, I call it the Warren Buffett move lah. So then I can make money from this warehouse itself when I complete it. So, and then there will be full automation as well. So there, we are moving into the automation for different business. I think this Family Mart also moving into semi-automation because as they get the economics of scale, the numbers getting bigger and bigger of outlets, and then we will go into more and more automation as well. And I just want to add in Family Mart because before I forget, I'd like to thank UM for sending a lot of students, especially one of your ladies graduate who become our smart trucker. And I hope more ladies and more guys coming together for us to do this smart trucker program. And you guys will be treated very properly and given full training, and you will be doing delivery for Family Mart.
So Dato, one last takeaway for all our students, okay, who are wondering what happens after COVID-19, job markets and whatever. In 3 minutes, Dato, can you say something to them?
Okay, after COVID, there will be change of way of doing business. I think people will come back. I think the food industry will come back first. For those students are worried now, okay. So in America, I already explained, they have Trump have actually got approval for $2 trillion stimulus package. So last time in 2009, Obama got 700 billion only, and they revived the economy after the global world financial crisis. And we had a turnaround within 6 months after that. So Trump also got $2 trillion. There's a lot of zero behind. I think we will be able to give away this money from now, which is April, May, and June. They will give this money away into the market, pump in the money into the market. From July onward, they will see turnaround in America. So Malaysia, we will look into today's announcement whether extend SAO or not. I think they might not extend. They will actually leave the MCO for factory first. Then the rest still continue with the MCO for another week just to make sure. And then when the things become better, the stock market will jump. So you all notice about the stock market. The bad news will come from CNN, CNBC, BBC, Bloomberg. All of them will come with bad news because until June, they had to justify for the money they get from the stimulus package. So you don't worry. Don't get yourself too stressed and then you think, oh, this is the end of the world. We are going to Great Depression and whatnot. $2 trillion will never make Malaysia world go into depression. We also came up with 250 billion and or maybe more package will be coming to stimulate the market again, our market. So stock market will go up. So when the stock market will go up, consumer will come back and start makan again. So the first thing is consumer will come back makan. They get confident, they make money from the stock market, then they start buying things already. Okay, when they start buying things, the thing will go back to normal. This is jump-starting the market. And I have my wish list. One of my wish lists I say in my earlier talk is I hope they impose back the GST, because I remember the last GST we get the free tax bracket from May, June and July kan. 3 months free tax kan. So imagine if we get free tax for July, August, September, after the market turned around already, we have zero cases. Then our life go normal, stock market go up, then we get zero tax, we start spending. So that is to jumpstart the economy for the 3 months of purchasing coming into.
Basically putting more money into the market then.
Basically, you need to jumpstart the purchasing power, the confidence of the consumers. So then everything will go back to normal. So don't worry, you will still get your job. If not, you try to apply to PKT, study your master. Study your master. If you didn't get a job, you are doing other subject, study masters in supply chain. and logistics.
So thank you very much, Dato, for your insights. Thank you very much for taking time off your busy schedule to be with us here virtually. Okay, and before we go, okay, the UUM management has actually relayed their regards to you. Okay, thank you also for your kind donation to helping the students who are actually affected by COVID-19. So to all our audience out there, this session wouldn't have happened, okay, without this strong commitment from our team of UUM IT, from our corporate com. And again, okay, thank you so much, Dato, for your time. Okay, and to all of you out there, please stay tuned with us. Okay, we have more virtually connected series coming up. Okay, till then, thank you. Take care. Stay at home.
Don't forget to like your page.
Don't forget to like. Okay, so take care, everyone. Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye, everyone. I'm going to see dentist after this.
Good luck.
This is my last talk, right? After that, I go to dentist. I scared the root canaling will be very painful. Cannot talk already.
So you get well soon, Dato.
Dato, be a man, be a man.
Thank you, everyone. See you again soon. Bye bye.
Painkiller lah.
Bye-bye.
Okay, see you guys. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.